Hey everybody, welcome back to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com and here on the YouTube channel. And this time out, we're going to take a look at some more of my favorite plugins. This is the top 5 of my favorite SSL Native plugins. And before you click off the video, because you think you know what you're going to see the typical stuff. There's a couple of surprises in this list that you probably haven't tried for yourself, and you may want to check this out. So we're going to look at some SSL Native plugins. I'm going to tell you why I like them, and then you can go check them out for yourself. So before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If this is your first time here, go to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com, get that free mixing course. It's right on the homepage, top right-hand corner. Can't miss that big orange button. Click on that. Free mixing course worth $100 will be delivered directly to your inbox, no strings attached. It's my gift to you just for visiting Home Recording Made Easy, for checking out this video. And if you stick around till the end of the list, I'm going to give you something else for free. So let's talk about SSL Native plugins. Now, I'm a big fan of SSL. I got a lot of their hardware, work with an SSL console, and their plugins are really, really great. I've been using them for years. Now, the great thing, a couple of years ago, they teamed up with Slate Digital, and now if you get part of the Complete Access Pass, I think they call it, you get not only get all the SSL Native plugins, but you also get all the Slate Digital plugins and all the Harrison plugins all in one bundle, which to me is like the best plugin bundle on the market, bang for buck. And maybe in another video, we'll talk about Slate Digital stuff in particular, one of my favorites there too. Leave comments below. Let me know if you want to see that video, but we want to just focus on the SSL plugins today. So we got 5 of them. Plugin number 1, what do you think it is? It is the good old 4K channel strip. Love this particular plugin. This thing is modeled off the old 4K consoles. That's what my SSL origin here is based off of, an E-series console, and this thing does not disappoint. Sounds extremely, extremely similar to my console here. And what's great about the SSL stuff as well as the channel strips is if you get their UC1 plugin controller, that thing is the greatest plugin controller I've ever used if you're using SSL channel strip. It feels like, and it has the same tactile feel as it is working on my console, but more importantly, this thing just sounds great. There's a lot of SSL plugins, 4K plugins on the market. I have them all. I've done videos on them as well as this one. You can check the archive. I've compared them all. I like the SSL Native the best, in my honest opinion. This one, when I'm working in the box, if I need a channel strip and I want to go SSL and I'm not sitting in front of my console, this is the one I use. So check out the 4KE here. The next one might surprise you a little bit. This one's been around a while, kind of an older plugin, but this thing's great. Use it all the time. Is the drum plugin, the drum strip they call it. This is an amazing plugin. Really, really cool. What I like about it is you have everything you need to put it on a drum bus. Everything from you have a low frequency enhancer, a high frequency enhancer. We have the listen mic, famous listen mic compressor. We have a transient designer all in here. And then we also have a gate here in the center as well. So you can use this on individual drums like kick snare if you want to use the gate, or you can use it on a drum bus. I'll typically use this on a drum bus, which I really like. Down here at the bottom, you can reorder the signal flow just by clicking on these little arrows here. So you can reorder how the signal passes through the plugin, which is really good. Really, really awesome. I have a video on the channel already about it. Another great thing about the SSL Native plugins that I really like is their presets are usually really, really great as a great starting point. A lot of plugin companies, their presets are usually not that great. There's a few companies where they are really great, and SSL Native is certainly one of them. So this is one that not a lot of people, I don't see a lot of people talking about this one, but I've been using it for years. And it's a really great kind of an all-in-one, use it on drums, any genre of music. So that's the drum strip. Love this plugin. Check this one out. Hey there, friend. I hope you're loving the video. Guess what? We're now in 2025 and I have some super exciting news to share with you. I'm officially accepting new clients for mixing, and I'm on the lookout for talented artists just like you. Head on over to mixingmusicanalog.com. The link will be in the description box below to check out some of my latest work. Once you've had a look around, shoot me an email and let's schedule a Zoom call to chat about your music and how we could take it to the next level. Now let's get back to the video. Plugin number 3 that I use all the time is the SSL Native Saturator plugin. And a lot of Saturator plugins on the market, they all sound a little different. I got many of them, they're really great. There's nothing that's super unique and special about this one over the other ones. I just like the way it sounds. It's really, really simple. Again, they do have some presets you can choose from, which are pretty cool, but just throwing it on in its default and just tweaking the drive knob a little bit and the wet dry knob, you can get some really interesting sounds. Now, it can be really gritty and dirty if you want it to be. I tend to use this in a more mild way. I use this on bass guitar all the time. I use this on snare samples all the time and blend it with the original snare. Really nice way to dirty up your snare where it's not over the top, but it gives it a lot of interesting personality and character. Great plugin here. The Saturator, or the X Saturator. Really, really awesome. Check this one out. This one's another good one. Here's another plugin that I like. I think this is number 4 that I don't see anybody talking about, and it's probably a surprise. You probably wouldn't think I would pick this one, but this one I use a lot, and it's one of my favorites in this category. This is the Subgen. This is a subharmonic generator. Again, lots of plugins on the market that do this kind of thing. This one I love the most because it's multi-band. I use this on kick drums all the time, bass guitar all the time. Love it on kick drum, especially if you just want that underneath, that girth, that real deep sub thing, but you don't want it to be muddy and you don't want it to overpower things. You just want that low, super low frequency, especially if you're working on like, dance and electronic music. This thing works wonders. But also in rock music, where you don't want it to overpower the rest of the kick, but you're missing that real low, hit you in the chest kind of a sound. This thing is like instant kick drum for that. Sounds fantastic. This is the Subgen. Check this out. I've tried some other subharmonic generators by different plugin companies, and they're all okay, but a lot of them get very flubby. You can't get too aggressive or they don't stay tight. They kind of fart out and get flubby. This one doesn't, because you have control over 4 different bands individually. Again, lots of cool presets that you can start with, but it works really, really well. Check this one out, the Subgen. I think it'll surprise you. And the last one here, well, second to last, I'm going to give you a bonus too, but here's another one that, again, is probably a little controversial, but I love the bus compressor. The SSL Native bus compressor too. I love this thing. Again, I have the SSL bus compressor plug-in by probably every company that makes one. I probably got 10 of them. This one is my favorite. I just love the way it sounds. It sounds incredibly similar to the one that's in my console, and also I have in my hardware rack up there behind me, I have the 2 Bus Plus, the Bus Plus by SSL. This thing has that same kind of vibe. I like this one a lot. Use it all the time. If I need to use a plug-in SSL G series kind of a bus, this is the one that I use. Love this one. Over the universal audio, over the waves, and there's other ones. There's like 6 or 7 companies that make them. I have most of them. This one is my favorite for sure. And then the last bonus here, oh no, I actually got 2 more. I'm sorry, I actually got 2 more. The next one that I like to use is the Flexverb. Here's another surprise one. This is a really, really cool reverb. Again, I don't see anybody talking about it. What I love about this is it's got a super amount of control over every aspect of the reverb, but it's not a complicated interface. Again, wonderful presets to start with. I use this a lot on drums, snare drums, drum rooms, drum overheads. I love the fact that you have control over the early reflections as opposed to as well as the reverb time on different controls. I love that you can EQ it. It's very, very easy to do. And it just sounds great. Sounds great. I use this all the time for when I want more subtle stuff, more natural sounding stuff. Again, a lot on drums is where I use this primarily. Although you can use it on anything, because again, they got some wonderful presets in here, but I tend to use this on drums. And I just love the way it gives a real natural sound. I use it in a very subtle way. I love having control over the early reflections, and it just makes everything sound natural. It doesn't sound like you dropped a reverb plugin on your drums, if that makes sense. Very, very natural, really, really cool. Check this one out. Again, you don't see really anybody talking about it. I discovered it about a year ago because I have the bundle, and I was like, wow, this thing is great, and I use it an awful lot. They did a really good job with this one. Now the last one, a bonus one. This is probably number 7, right? Yeah, so I didn't give you my top 5, I gave you my top 6. Here's a bonus number 7, the SSL Fusion. Now I only put up one of the modules here, the vintage drive, but when I use the Fusion in plugin format, I use all the modules just like you would on the hardware, which is the vintage drive, into the high frequency compressor, into the violet EQ or the EQ module, into the stereo widener, and into the transformer circuit. Those 5 modules are great. I used to have a real SSL Fusion, and I think we did a video a long time ago where we compared it to the plugin, and I remember saying at that time, this is probably one of the first plugins that I've ever heard when compared to the hardware counterpart. It was super, super close. It was really close, and sometimes it was almost indistinguishable from the hardware. I don't remember ever doing, when I've done a hardware to plugin comparison, especially when you talk about compressors and saturators and those types of plugins, the hardware always used to win hands down. This is the first time where the plugin, you could have swapped out either one of them and it really wouldn't have mattered. So they did a wonderful job modeling their own hardware with the SSL Fusion plugin. Really, really cool. Get the bundle of the SSL. I think you can get just the SSL bundle, you can get just the Slate bundle, and then you can get them together as the complete access. And I really think with those 2 bundles of plugins, you don't really need any other plugins. But those are my top 7 favorite SSL native plugins that I use when I'm working in the box. I use them all the time. Let me know in the comments if you use SSL native plugins and what are some of your favorites. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? Let me know what you think in the comments. Always love that you guys know, and let me know if there's any other things you want to look at, because this is why I make these videos. You guys ask for these things and I make them for you. And I'll link in the description box below for you to go check out these bundles. They're not affiliate links. I don't get anything for it, so whether you do it or not, it doesn't really matter. But I'll link it there in case you want to go check it out. So thanks so much for taking a look at these SSL plugins. Again, I have demos on every single one of them on the channel. You can check the archive. I have a playlist for SSL. Go search it. You'll see demos on all of these. Now, because you stuck around to the end of the video, I want to give you something else. So go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com if you've never been there before and get that free mixing course. Right at the top of the right-hand corner of the home page, a big orange button that says free training. You can't miss it. Download that course. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. If you want to take one of my other full-length training courses, and I have everything from EQ to compression to mixing to mastering to recording, both for beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. I have something for everybody on our school. Any course you want to take, I want to give you a 25% discount coupon code to use at checkout. That coupon code is YouTube25. It'll be in the description box below. Put it in at checkout. It will take 25% off any training course on the website. So until the next video where we take a look at maybe some more plugins, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Thank you so much for watching me, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video.